everybody, it's Jerry, and today I'm going to show you how to make a salted caramel carob tart with a carob cookie crust. It's got a lot of different elements going on and it works really well together. It's going to have a carob cookie outer crust and then a gooey caramel filling and topped with a carob ganache and some salt sprinkled on top. Really delicious. And as always, you can always substitute out chocolate for the carob if you want to make it chocolate, and I'll show you how to do that, and let's get started. We're going to start by making a vegan egg by taking 1 teaspoon of psyllium husk and a 1/4 cup of water, and just mix that together and let it sit for a few minutes to thicken. And then we're going to add in 1/3 cup of vegan butter and 3 tablespoons of sugar, and just cream that all together. And then we're going to add in our dry ingredients. So we're going to take 1/3 cup of brown rice flour, 1/3 cup of millet flour, and 1/3 cup of tapioca flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and 3 tablespoons of carob powder, or if you're making it chocolate, then you can use cocoa powder. Mix that all together until it's nice and even. And then we're going to take a cookie sheet covered with parchment paper and just roll out 1-inch balls from the cookie dough. Place them on the sheet. We're looking for about 25. And then we're just going to press them fairly flat. They don't need to be perfect because we're just going to grind them up anyway, and bake it at 350 degrees for 14 minutes. And these are going to make our cookies. And then once they're completely cooled, put them in a food processor and grind them to make our cookie crumbs. And mix the crumbs with 1/3 cup of melted vegan butter. And press that into the bottom and sides of a tart pan, which has been sprayed with oil so it won't stick. And then bake it at 350 degrees for 10 minutes. Now we can start on our first layer, which is the caramel. So we're going to take a can of coconut milk, which has been chilled overnight, and scoop off 1/4 cup of the cream from the top, and take 1/4 cup of vegan butter and melt them together. Now I like the Miyoko's butter for this because it'll help it to firm up. Then we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract once it's melted, and take it off the heat, and just mix that together and set that aside. Now we're going to make our caramel by taking 1 cup of sugar and 1/4 cup of dark sugar, and this will just help to give it a nice color, and add 1/4 cup of water to that, and 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and that will help to keep it from crystallizing. So mix that all together and then heat that up over medium heat. And we want to heat it to a little bit over 260 degrees Fahrenheit. So once it reaches over 260, we can take it off the heat and pour in our melted butter and coconut cream mixture and whisk that together. It'll foam up a little bit, and then it'll all come together nice and smooth, and just let it cool a little bit and pour it into the baked shell. And just let that cool to room temperature, and then chill that until it's completely set. Now we're going to make our ganache for the top. So we're going to take 1/2 cup of coconut butter, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of carob powder. Again, you can use cocoa powder if you want it to be chocolate. And then we're going to take the remaining coconut cream from the coconut milk can
and heat that up over medium heat and stir it together until it's nice and smooth. And if it's a little bit too thick, we want a nice pourable consistency, so just add in a little more of the coconut water from the can until you get a nice kind of runny consistency. And then let that cool until it's about the consistency of a thin frosting. And pour that on top of the chilled caramel and spread it across the top. And finally, we're going to sprinkle some salt on the top. You can leave that off if you want to avoid the salt. And then just chill that until it's completely set and it's ready to eat.
Thanks everybody for watching. Please tune in next time for some more recipes. And as always, like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time.